Alright, so Lord and Cruiser Alfarius wanted to see John Strife Hayes, The Lost Crusade as Heresy, which, it's a mobile game. It looked like a cash grab to me. And I never downloaded the thing just based off of that. In any case, we're going to get into this, and I had a feeling that I'm going to agree with 90% of this guy's points. But here we go.
Stop making good franchises into bad mobile games.
Right.
The Codex Astartes does not support this decision. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes. I download and play terrible games so you don't have to.
Hey,
Recently,
nice.
I've been seeing adverts for Warhammer 40k Lost Crusade popping up absolutely everywhere. You know, the traditional phone game advert with fake graphics and bad
Right.
voiceovers and mechanics shown that aren't even in the game. So I've praised the Emperor, informed the Inquisition, and sacrificed my PC to the machine spirit so I can download this game and play it for a whole day
Okay.
to bring you the truth. So, Warhammer 40k Lost Crusade. I'll show you the good, the bad, and then a small but telling design decision that might be one of the most player-unfriendly, manipulative monetization methods I have ever seen. But before we dive into the 41st millennium, a big thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. More
Nice.
on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. Let's
Okay.
start with a personal matter. I love the 40k universe. I love the lore, the books, the games, the history, the models, the battles, the audio dramas, the music, the cosplay, the community, the YouTube battle reports, the painting tutorials. I love everything about 40k, except Games Workshop. From the endless price increases to their draconian attitude on third-party minis to the legal action being taken against YouTube's best content creators in the Warhammer 40k space. Games Workshop have produced an excellent fictional universe and then done nothing to ingratiate themselves with the players. Especially how I can't spend 5 seconds inside an actual Warhammer shop before the only staff member there is required under pain of death to ask me what army I play, what paints I need, what my mother's maiden name is, and if I want to buy whatever overpriced box of the week they are pushing. I love Warhammer as a universe and do not like Games Workshop that much. With that established, let's play. Warhammer 40k Lost Crusade is a free mobile game. It's a city builder, hero upgrader, semi-idle game with limited interaction in linear on-rails fighting sections with so many upgrade systems even the Adeptus Mechanicus would call this excessive. The App Store page describes it as a game which fans of the 40k franchise will love, which is about as accurate as telling an Eldar player they'll be getting new models any day now. The plot of Lost Crusade is loosely based on the Indomitus Crusade storyline. Basically, you're a Space Marine commander who performed an emergency warp jump during a crusade and now you are lost, so it's up to you to rebuild your battle barge, requisition your troops and go and kill chaos. The game starts, as all high-budget mobile games start, with a brilliant opening sequence which very quickly devolves into graphical novel-style text and image overlays. Now, credit where credit is due. The graphics in this game, both the 3D rendered assets and the 2D artwork, are really nice. They've modelled all the troops accurately after the Warhammer models, and the artwork is detailed. The battle barge itself as your city is suitably gothic, and the combat animations are definitely acceptable. As far as looks go, Lost Crusade
This looks like Raid.
is one of the nicer looking mobile games. At the start we choose our chapter. You can be an Ultramarine, an Imperial Fist, a White Scar or a Raven Guard, and each chapter has slight boosts actually rather reflective of that chapter's actual tabletop tactics. The Imperial Fists get more defense, the Raven Guard get hit and run PvP advantages, and in traditional Warhammer style the Ultramarines are simply better than everyone else. Game starts and it is voice acted, but the voice acting doesn't always match up with the subtitles. They probably got the same quality control guy who allowed all those upside down codexes to go to print.
We lost contact with our fleet while performing an emergency warp jump. We also lost contact with Cordus and Alistor. We should seek them at the Administratum Outpost.
Okay.
And now we experience the first of many, many systems, finding heroes. Heroes lead our army, and you can go on basic rescues or deep rescues to find heroes.
Okay.
Basics are given daily and for completing simple quests, and deep cost money. Our first deep is free, because just like giving out a single Space Marine in store, that's how addiction starts. And
Yes.
now we're tasked with building a Primaris Barracks, a building which will generate troops, and I kind of like how it has a giant statue on top, because the Primaris need the regular Marines to know they are better than them. There is a main story plotline, and the missions are given to you via this little mission button. You can see what you need to do to finish your current chapter. If you're ever in doubt, just click this book and do what it says. When you've done a mission, you can click Claim and get showered in rewards, or you can go and click Go to be taken to the relevant building. I have an issue with this whole system, but we'll come up to this later. Next system, and the only real element of gameplay. Clicking Expedition takes you to this linear battle map. You choose a level, choose a hero, and then set off to fight the enemy. Now, this system is actually not terrible. Your hero runs forward, you charge up tactical points at the bottom. When you have enough, you can spend them to bring in reinforcements or to use a hero's special attack. Honestly, I actually quite like this whole gameplay experience. It's fast enough to not get boring, slow enough so you can keep up with it, and the fact you can choose when to summon in the troops is actually a level of player interaction in gameplay. This isn't the worst mobile game I've played. Check the in-game mail and get showered with free stuff because you can't have players thinking you don't love them, then finish chapter 1 and get an overwhelming amount of items. There's actually a psychological paradox where if you give someone too much of something, they stop valuing it because it's just so abundant, and this has happened already. The game gives you so much early game stuff, you end up caring about none of it, and we'll see an extremely egregious example of this a bit later on. Next system, level up the hero with experience cards. Throw resources at the dude to make him stronger. I hope you're keeping track of how many upgrade systems or screens or processors there are, because I stopped keeping note after about 30. Upgrading the battle barge next, and this really is the main focus of progression in the game. Everything revolves around having a higher level battle barge, but here's a nice touch. Upgrading the barge has several prerequisites for each level, and it shows you them in this list, and clicking on them takes you to where you need to upgrade. Notice how it doesn't instantly teleport you. It flies you there in a smooth transition. This is a small but nice touch. It lets you relate one location, the main command hub of your battle barge, to the other, whatever you're about to level up, and see how the barge is laid out. It's a small touch, but it helps connect the player to the base. Lost Crusade is your traditional city builder, and each building has an upgrade timer, but for some reason the first few upgrades on all of the buildings are all free and instant, and everything builds straight away. Maybe because they know the timer system is designed to milk you to buy boosts, and even Games Workshop know it's not good business sense to be hostile to the player within the first few opening levels. I now click multiple times and get showered with so many free gifts I stop feeling any excitement at all. This is the in-game equivalent of jingling keys at someone and expecting them to be impressed.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Train some Vanguard veterans, and I do need to mention the accuracy toward Warhammer 40k canon. 40k is described as more of a setting and less of a defined storyline. There are famous events that happen in specific numbered years, such as the Horus Heresy, but in general it's more of a big stupid sci-fi playground that you can set various stories in, make something up, and for all its flaws, Lost Crusade has paid a lot of attention to the minutiae of the 40k setting. The models are super accurate, the map names are correct, the buildings look good, the music is great, the graphical flourishes around the screen are reminiscent of the artwork of the codexes. They've got the named characters right, and they've got the units equipped correctly. Now, they don't use the numbered system of the tabletop game because that changes every edition, and I mean, they've used the traditional over-the-top mobile game numbers, but as a 40k fan, I actually found a lot to look at, appreciate, and enjoy. If you're just playing this game on your phone for a few minutes a day as a bit of a time killer, and you're less focused on gameplay and you're more bothered about ambience, character, or environmental design, this is actually a very high quality experience. If you are focused on gameplay though, oh boy, prepare to look very hard to find a tiny bit and get buried in systems as you do. Heroes level up with experience tokens. All heroes use the same tokens, and these can be found on missions, but then that hero also upgrades with fragments of that specific hero to increase in star rating, which increases their leadership, so they can bring more troops with them. It's very confusing, but look, the cape twirls. Yay for physics. Pop off on another basic rescue, get a dreadnought. I want you to understand that you are getting heroes at this early stage because you are scripted to get them. You will never normally get a dreadnought doing this. We will look at the drop rates of heroes in packs later because they're legally obliged to show you, and it's low. It's like 1 or 2% low. Actually, while we're here, let's have a glance at the shop because you all know that's going to become the whole focus of the game. There are 11 different pre-made packs, all costing $4.49, all with various amounts of various currencies in them. It is quite telling of how complex your game systems are when you can justify having 11 different packs to sell the player 11 different variations and they're all genuinely different. But your first recharge pack is a nice and affordable 89p, which is actually quite cheap even compared to mobile games. The newcomer pack is $4.49, valued a lot higher, and boasts about containing a second build queue, which tells me you only get one build queue as standard, which I can see being a real bottleneck.
Oh,
Create the
God.
problem, sell the solution. The most anti-player game design ever made.
That
The
is
primary
so
premium
trash.
currency are crystals. You can buy 30,000 of them. That's the biggest pack for £90. That's just shy of $140. There's also a VIP system which increases with daily logins because building habit is an important psychological step to maintaining an addicted player base. One nice design choice is, on the hero screen you can see the items needed to upgrade any given hero,
Oh
either
my
experience
God.
or shards, and clicking on that item shows
This is as much as a cash grab as I thought it was. I mean, that's
you
annoying.
where you can get it, and then clicking on it again actually takes you to where you can get it. I really like this. I mean, I don't like the overall system being needlessly convoluted. I like the simplicity that the game explains what you need and then lets you go there. That is streamlined design.
There was a game called Ebony. Like, it wasn't Ebony. It was a game similar to Ebony. And basically, it was such a pay-to-win profile. It wasn't even funny. You could play for free. It started with a T, but I played that like way back in the day, 2005, 2006. And I remember this one guy talking about how as soon as the new server, like, because the server would refresh, and he was going to drop $500 day one. And I was like, $500? What are you doing? But he wanted to win. And he literally dropped $500 day one. And then he dropped another $500 2 weeks later.
Send some more dudes off for some more battles, and remember that doing this takes stamina, a limited resource that recharges slowly over time but you can just pay for. I haven't hit the paywall on anything yet, but don't worry, I will do soon.
Oh,
the battles
God.
themselves, despite being graphically interesting to look at, are getting a little bit dull. I am realising that you don't actually need to do anything. You can
Pretty
win
much.
all of these encounters without using reinforcements, at least in the early game. I also discover I'm under the effects of a newbie potion. I wasn't told this, it's just happening. I cannot be attacked by other players for 2 days. Well, there it is. What's the bet that once this wears off, I'm going to be absolutely tyrannid rushed by stronger players, and I'll have to keep paying to repair my own stuff? Another
Probably.
system, zoom out from the battle barge, scan the local area, discover hostiles, and send my ships to fight it, which means 2 ships just clash, you watch a bar go down, and then they come back to the main battle barge. Yeah, this is just a time-wasting system designed to be a DPS check for your actual battle barge level. Now the game, very generously and kindly, gives me a second building upgrade queue, which will last for a whole 30 minutes. Oh, best play solidly for the next 30 minutes, then take advantage of this. But strangely, the next 30 minutes of gameplay are the most boring. Just clicking on the star map and sending out forces one at a time. Very clever there, game, how you've given me a major reason to keep playing and then introduced your dullest system, forcing me to sit through it and not want to quit. Kinda sad these space fights are just number versus number clashes on the same screen with no animations and there's no ground battle style minigame. That was the most fun part to watch and they haven't even used it here. This is just a game of my army is bigger than yours and therefore I win. If I wanted that, I would just play 1st edition Age of Sigmar. Here's a really pedantic criticism, but it does impact the quality as a whole. When you upgrade a building, you'll see the time cost in the bottom right, and to the left, the instant cost, and it says free in
So pretty much this is all basic, yeah.
capitals.
It's just
Until you
basic
click,
mobile
then it just says
strategy.
free in lowercase letters, and
I
it
haven't
seems to be
downloaded a mobile
random.
game in
Choose a
years.
design style and be consistent. Another mechanic, appoint heroes to be in charge of stuff on the ship, which applies small passive buffs to things like building upgrade timers or troop requisition time. Honestly, I'm treating these
This is literally a combination of Mafia and Raid. That's all this is. It's a combination of Mafia and Raid, and that's all. This sucks.
upgrade systems the same way that I'm treating my unpainted miniatures in real life. I'm kind of pushing them to the side and hoping that I forget about them before buying more. Now to irritate all you UI completionist cleaners out there. Whenever you have something new in a system, a little red purity seal will appear on that button on the main game interface. You have to click to get rid of it, but this involves clicking every single item from every single interaction you've gained, such as a mission, scan, battle, upgrade, level up, enhancement, training, requisition, reinforcement, platform addition, or encounter. Every item in your inventory every few seconds seconds adds a new purity seal. You cannot keep your UI clean for more than 10 seconds.
That
Then
would
another
drive me
pop-up.
crazy.
Special gifts if we complete Chapter 7 in the next 24 hours. Wow, Lost Crusade really doesn't want you to stop playing it. It's given me a build queue for 30 minutes, then a boost at the start, and now if I do this in the next day, I get even more stuff. It really showers you in early game boosts to encourage you not to quit. There's a new symbol on the UI. Rookie gifts, and look, this is excessive. Look at how much stuff the game throws at me for free and see if you can keep up. That is an excessive amount of resources to give to someone without explaining what any of them actually do. It is also the least lore-accurate part. The administratum would take 10 years to get your request, another 10 to process it, 10 to reply, and then maybe, if you're lucky, you'd get 10% of what you originally asked for. Next up, build a research station and go through another system. Flowcharts of various upgrades which apply to stuff, and then you upgrade stuff instantly. And look, upgrading something doesn't actually matter unless I know what the baseline of that thing is. I need to have seen the baseline and then seen it become ineffective, and then I get to see the effect the upgrade has actually had, a noticeable tangible change in gameplay. That's how satisfying design related to upgrade works. This is just a system of buy a building and upgrade it to level 3 instantly. It's no different to just starting at level 3. You're only doing this so you can distract me with numbers and sparkles. I'm not an orc. The ship to enemy combat is basically a very boring board game. Send unit to attack other unit, wait for it to reach it, watch the bars go down, watch it return. How have you made space battles boring? I've not been this disappointed since Dawn of War 3. Upgrading the battle bar to level 7 is going to take 20 minutes, so I just click on all the flashy stuff it tells me to click on. I need to do 5 of these signal events, which are all mechanically identical. Click, wait, win. Another full screen shop advert. This pack is, as it says, essential to upgrade quickly. I mean, at least they're honest about design. If you don't pay, you're going to upgrade slowly, and that's designed to be boring for you.
I utterly hate mobile games for just garbage like this. And it doesn't surprise me that this thing's the exact same way. It really doesn't. It should, but it doesn't.
You best start paying. Upgrade heroes with even more systems. If any of you are keeping count, how many is that now? There seem to be about as many upgrade systems as there are new Space Marine sets released each month, and the amount of systems I actually feel invested in or that have engaging gameplay for me as a player to care about seems equal to the number of Tyranid sets released in the last 5 years. Now another nice touch, a rogue trader ship shows up as a limited time shop, which is thematically correct,
really?
because rogue traders in the 40k universe are limited and operate outside the constraints of the Imperium. Oh god, I had so many mixed feelings about my experience with this game. On one hand, it's an exploitative, money-hungry mobile game. On the other, it's actually got so many nods to 40k with so many little details it's got so right. It's clearly been made by, or at least polished up by, someone or a group of people who really love the source material and really want to squeeze every drop of 40k flavour into the game. Because there are so many connections, correct connections to the 40k universe as we as fans know it. Apart from my biggest issue so far, the Codex Astartes, the sacred text of the Space Marines, the complete compilation of what to do in any given situation, is just some random upgrade in the research path. Like, it's not even important, you can finish the game without it. Why is it not the mission book you've been taking orders from the whole game? I'm sorry, but this is a major flavour fail. You are literally a Lost Crusade. To give me step-by-step instructions on what to do in this scenario from the Codex Astartes would have made complete sense. But let's put this game to the ultimate test, the shop. How is the shop? Well, it turns out it would be cheaper to buy, build and paint a complete Space Marine chapter in real life than it would be to assemble one here. You only have one building upgrade queue, but you can rent a second queue for 2,100 crystals per week, which means buying the 3,000 crystal pack, the mid-value pack, which will essentially cost you £9 per week to maintain a second upgrade queue. Or you can unlock it permanently for $4.49. That's quite the price difference. They really, really want you buying that permanent unlock pack. Because once you've bought something permanent in a game, the sunk cost fallacy kicks in and you convince yourself to keep playing even if you don't enjoy it. But what about getting extra heroes? Because you will need them to advance. Well, the basic heroes won't get you far. You'll need to do Deep Rescue, which costs 800 crystals per attempt. And look at the size of the packs, specifically designed to be mathematically abusive to the player. 300 crystals would cost you 90p, but you'd need to buy it 3 times and you'd have extra left over. 1500 crystals is 449, but that's 100 crystals short of 2 Deep Rescues, so you're encouraged to buy the pack above. Let's go to the 15,000 crystal pack for £45. Assuming this is your first purchase, you get a double size bonus. That's 30,000 crystals, giving you 37 Deep Rescues. Because all gacha games are legally required to show you the odds, we can see your chance of a legendary hero is 1%. And the chance of an epic is 2.5. But there is a guaranteed epic or legendary every 10 rescues. There are 9 legendary heroes and 6 epic ones, so 15 higher level heroes to collect. Now, assuming you got...
Alright, let's take a look. Talion, Gato Sicarius, Kronos, my boy Kelgar, Contour, Shrike, Corsaro, I cannot say her name for the love of God, I can't. And looks like Gabriel Seth. Vex, Kaleo, Scaro.
Got a different hero with your pity pull every 10 rolls.
It is I, Gato Sicarius, and I'm champion of McCrack.
That's going to mean
I'm in a mobile game.
The complete collection in 150 rolls, which would cost you 120,000 crystals. This means buying the £90 pack 4 times. Technically 3 times because the first purchase will get the double value bonus. So, assuming you get no duplicates, you would need to buy £270 or $375 worth of crystals to get every higher level hero in this game as it stands now. To put that into perspective, you can get Dawn of War 1 Game of the Year Edition, one of the best Warhammer 40k games they've ever made, on Steam for $9.99. And if you do want to revisit Dawn of War 1, sideways plug, I'll be replaying and reviewing it over on my retro gaming focused second channel, Josh Strife Plays.
I hate mobile games.
Link in the description. So, $375 for all higher level heroes on Lost Crusade without any upgrades or power-ups. Games Workshop once again proving the integrity of the Warhammer 40k universe means nothing in the face of monetization. Watch this. This is gratuitous. I've just unlocked the Growth Mission system, and to celebrate, the game rewards me with 17 individual reward boxes.
What?
Nothing should give you 17 reward boxes. Some people have told me the game gets good once you're a week or 2 in, but look, within only 5 hours, it's given me more systems than Cadia had guardsmen and more resources than I can remember. It's clearly not shy about throwing things at me, so why has so little of the last 5 hours actually been any form of gameplay? Upgrading the battle barge is now going to take 40 minutes, so I just burn through every free time boosting item it's given me so I can make some progress. Another mechanic, exploration. Send your heroes out to do stuff while you're AFK. Needs 2 heroes. Convenient that, because I've only got 2. Unless you pay for more, but exploring idle missions are different to scan battle grid missions because I can still use the heroes that are exploring despite them being locked. How do these systems even interact? 5 more rewards given to me in one go. Honestly, about 80% of the first few hours of this game is just getting given free stuff and clicking on the free stuff. I think I've actively been involved in about 20 minutes of gameplay over the last 6 hours. Level up the battle barge to 7 and it's not enough. I've used every single time boosting item. I've skipped about 2 hours of level up time and I'm still waiting. This is it. This is the upgrade gate wall. 6 hours in. But oh look,
wow.
I've unlocked auto battle. Brilliant. I don't even need to be here. I love it when I unlock systems which make me as a player redundant. Honestly, this game could be played by a competent enough auto clicker. clicker. I click on some random chests on some random upgrade screens, can't even remember how I got here, and now I find one of the scummiest, most anti-player designs in any game, and it's subtle, but it speaks volumes when you realise what it's trying to do. I'm on the research screen with a branching upgrade path, and when I click on an item that's maxed out, it brings up a new window of that item, and I can still see the main screen in the background. This item I can't upgrade anymore. I can see my total crystal count in the background. It's on the base layer, sort of below this window, but it's there. Now watch. When I click on an option that I can still upgrade, that total crystal count disappears. Why? Well, it's because if you look, you'll see there's an option to skip the upgrade wait time by spending crystals on this upgrade. On every option where spending crystals is still a viable choice, they have blocked you from seeing your current total at a glance. This is to make it harder to track how many you're actually spending, because the crystal cost will increase every time. When you can't spend crystals, they're fine with showing you your total. When you could potentially spend them, they hide your total on purpose. This is awful. This is a design choice they've put into the game specifically to make it harder to actually track what you're spending and what you've got left, so you're more likely to overspend and buy more. There was no reason to hide your total crystal count unless you are actively trying to hide information from the player and hope they overspend. Look, here's proof. This reactive shoulder guard upgrade. I can still spend crystals to upgrade it, so my total is hidden. So I upgrade it to maximum, and now when I click back on it, my total is shown in the background, because there's no advantage to hiding it anymore, because I've already spent them. Sorry, Last Crusade, I don't care how good parts of your game actually are. If you're going to engage in clandestine anti-player tactics by hiding total owned premium currency when it's beneficial for you for me to spend it, I'm not going to play you. I want to be seen as a valued player, not a thing to be tricked into overspending. So, Lost Crusade, it's got some redeeming qualities. The attention to detail is obvious. It's clearly been polished up by a team of very knowledgeable Warhammer 40k fans. The models are lovely. The music is great. The bells and whistles of the actual game are there. It's had enough of a 40k feel to keep me around for 8 hours. But when you look deeply...
What the hell is that supposed to be?
You'll see the multiple upgrade systems are there to confuse you, just like any mobile game. That one solid gameplay aspect it does have, the linear ground battle segments, aren't actually as tactical as they seem, and they don't happen frequently at all, and the hiding of the player crystal total when they want you to spend it shows they're willing to actively design parts of the game to be anti-player. And that I just can't stand. On the opposite end of the customer experience spectrum, remember how I...
Okay, it says... It looks like BlueStacks.com. How to install BlueStacks 5 completely from PC. I'm not sure if you still need it or it was only part of the end gag.
I ended my Lord of the Rings review slating how hard BlueStacks is to uninstall. Well, I actually got an email from an official representative of BlueStacks saying they enjoyed my videos, they were sorry I was having a hard time with it, and here's a step-by-step guide for how to uninstall it. That is actually really good customer service. Alright, BlueStacks, we are cool again, thank you. To end the review, I will award Lost Crusade. It's definitely Heresy, but high quality Heresy. Like, I can see the care is there. I disagree with the monetization bit. It's basically a guardsman who's joined the Tau. Like, I get it, I can see why you made the choice, but I don't appreciate the fact that you did. Out of 10. Cheers for watching.
Tau out of 10. Okay.
Thank you again to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who help keep the channel alive. You can support from only £1 a month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and the second channel Josh Strife plays.
Well, frankly, that last analogy was the best one for me. It's like humans who join the Tau. Fuck off. This is the reason I don't download mobile games, because they do this kind of crap, and I hate it. It is legitimately just... Any mobile game out there right now is legitimately just pay to win. And... yeah. In any case, I'm going to be putting his information down below, as well as his Patreon, as well as my own Patreon. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on this. It helps me out with the algorithm. Still trying to grow the channel. Maybe one of these days I'll hit 5,000. I'll catch you guys later. Oh, and by the way, Currently working on the next 5-minute lore. It'll be out soon. Catch you guys next time.